I'm going to share with you the most delicious recipe for an afternoon tea layer cake. It's the simplest recipe ever. It all happens in one tin. You can do it for a family, afternoon tea, for a dessert. It's delicious. And it's a recipe from my brand new book called One, where every single recipe is made in one tray or one pan. So it's great for people that love food, that like nice and simple things and not too much washing up, okay? So that's the whole vibe. Tinned custard, yes, you heard me right. Tinned custard is the flavor of the 80s and all those incredible sort of trifles and blancmanges and stuff like that. Strawberries, it's really good to do this in season when the strawberries are really, really good, and chocolate, of course. And we're gonna use scones that I've toasted. So let me show you how I make this, because it's basically a kind of trifle, right? And we turn it out, it looks incredible. So first thing we're gonna do is make a cup of tea. Yes, you heard me right, a cup of tea, because we are gonna use some lovely tea bags to get some seriously delicious flavor happening. 400 milliliters goes into a jug, and we're gonna use 4 nice English breakfast tea bags. So let that infuse as you would your normal cuppa. On top of that, I'm going to put a bowl and I'm going to crack in 100 grams of good quality chocolate. So go to the supermarket. I normally go for like 60, 70% cocoa solids. So just crack it up like that. And that subtle, gentle heat from the steam, from that boiling water, will melt this chocolate. So let that gently melt over the course of like 3 or 4 minutes while the tea is brewing. So put the tray to one side. What I've done here already, I've taken the liberty of toasting 8 scones, like standard scones that you get. That's 2 packs in a normal supermarket. Slice it into 3. Instead of 2, slice it into 3, right? And I've just put that under the grill and toasted it. And then strawberries. I'm just going to take the little stalks off the end, like that. I might take the liberty of just like stealing a couple of really pretty ones and just putting that to one side. And then we're just going to slice them up. You don't have to do it, but if the strawberries aren't quite as sweet, then you can just put a little thimble of icing sugar like that, and that will just pull the moisture out and they'll start to shine and they'll be utterly delicious. So just mix up the chocolate, and that's nearly done there. The tea is brewed, so we can remove the tea bags. So how do we get it into dessert form? Well, get yourself the tray, like I said, get some greaseproof paper, scrunch it up, just make it wet, and that makes it quite nice and kind of malleable, and it will go in all the little corners. So in we go, like that. And as soon as you've got that in, what we can do is start building this very fun dessert. So we'll take half of the scones, and what you'll get is 4 by 3 scones in the bottom. So go in there with 2/3 of the tea. Then what I'm going to do is, in your melted chocolate, right, I'm going to take one of these tins of custard and make chocolate custard. And it's that simple. So get all of it out. So as soon as you've done that, just mix it up. It's the easiest chocolate custard you could do. So in we go with the chocolate custard. Get all of it in there, every last bit. Don't want to waste any. Right, let's get a spatula. So spread that, kind of like a sandwich really, around the tin, right into the corners. The scones are currently kind of hard and toasted and delicious, but they're soaking now up the tea, and they'll absorb the chocolate custard as well, and it'll kind of become one. So just make sure you get that chocolate sauce really nicely distributed. And then in the middle, we'll go in with a beautiful scattering of strawberries. And then these last pieces of scone, I'm just going to dip them in the tea. And there we go, we're pretty much done. Very easy to put together. And then any leftover bits of tea you can just drizzle over the top, just like that. So in a way, it's slightly reflective of how you put together a tiramisu. And then last but not least, just a little drizzle of elderflower cordial. It's the most fantastic ingredient. The flavor is bonkers, and it's kind of like sunshine and optimism personified, all in one little drizzle. And then we finish off with a little drizzling of custard. So this concoction, this beautiful thing, now goes in the fridge for at least a couple of hours. I personally like doing it the day before to get a job out of the way and just have it there. It will keep, you know, for a good 2 or 3 days, you know, if you want to really do it in advance. But now what we want to do is just let time allow all those scones to absorb all that loveliness. So just put that custard into all the little cracks and crannies. So just whack it in the fridge, and then I'll show you how to turn it out and dress it up. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so this has been soaking overnight, and you can see it's absorbed quite a lot of the moisture like that. So it's very, very simple what we do. Get yourself a nice platter or board that will fit on top of. Pull the paper to one side like this, and then just constantly pick it up and turn it like that. Very simple. There's not really much that can go wrong because we've got the greaseproof paper. Now, if you look through there, it's like a kind of stained glass window, and it's lovely to see the actual custard and the chocolate. We'll just pull that back like that. And it's just, you know, messy gorgeousness. I mean, even that wants to be licked. Yum. Okay, so how do we dress it up? So I think it already looks pretty funky myself. I quite like the use of icing sugar, and I think that gives the quite savoury scones a nice sweet hit, like that. So just give them a little tap. Get yourself a large chopper, like this. Get yourself another little piece of chocolate, like that. You're not going to use all of it. Just put it on a clean surface and just put it up next to your thigh, like that. Just scrape the chocolate towards you, like that. And you'll get these lovely little slithers and shards of chocolate like this. And it just looks cute, right? So if you don't want to do that for whatever reason, that's fine. What you can do is just use a little grater. But look, it's a nice little texture, and it really is easy. So on top it goes. So I'm very happy with that. All I would do now is take a couple of little strawberries and just use those to pop around. So there you go, lovely people. One tray, one book, and one beautiful afternoon tea layer cake. Right, let's have a little portioning, just so I can show you what's happening on the inside. I mean, that could probably serve quite a lot of people. And if you look into it, you can see the beautiful layers of the custard, the chocolate, the strawberries. Get in there. I love it. Super simple, all done in one tray. So there you go, guys. That's the most delicious, simple dessert that you can do in one tray from my brand new book, One, where everything is either cooked in a pan or a tray, and there's loads of beautiful recipes, breakfast, brunches, lunches, dinners. Look it up, it's in bookshops or online. Until next time, take care. Lots of love.